There are moments in life when everything seems to fall apart. Our hearts are heavy and the weight of the world presses down on us. Yet, in the middle of it all, an unexplainable peace settles upon us. It is not the result of circumstance or logic, but something divine. That peace that floods your soul in the chaos, that gentle assurance that whispers you are not alone, is often a sign that angels are surrounding you. A peace that surpasses understanding is not random. It's a divine intervention, a sign that the angels of God are near. They come to remind you that heaven has not forgotten you. When peace enters your life unexpectedly, when it calms the storm in your heart, know that angels are ministering to your soul, wiping away tears you never shed, and strengthening you for what lies ahead. Have you ever found yourself delayed in an unexpected way, only to later discover that you were spared from danger? Or perhaps you met someone at precisely the right moment, someone who spoke the words you didn't even know you needed to hear. These moments are no mere coincidence. They are divine appointments arranged by God, often with the help of his angels. Angels are messengers of heaven, orchestrating moments that align perfectly with God's will for your life. A delay isn't always a denial. Sometimes it's a redirection, a protective measure, a divine intervention. When your plans are changed or disrupted, remember that God's angels may be guiding your path, sparing you from something far worse, or leading you to something better. Their work is often hidden, but it's always for your good. There are times when you hear a whisper, not with your ears, but deep within your heart. It may be a soft nudge, a quiet warning, or a comforting phrase that seems to come from nowhere. That whisper is not your imagination, it is the voice of an angel speaking to you in your spirit. Heaven's messengers often communicate in subtle, quiet ways through impressions, intuition, or those sacred moments when you're alone but feel surrounded by a presence. Don't ignore those whispers. That gentle voice may be guiding you toward peace or warning you of danger. It may be reassuring you that you're not alone. Heaven speaks to us through these angelic nudges, and if you pay attention, you'll find that the angels are closer than you think. Sometimes you'll sit alone and feel an overwhelming presence, something so sacred that it brings tears to your eyes. You weren't sad, you weren't even praying, but there it is, the presence of something greater, something beyond this world. It's not emotion or sentimentality, it's divine visitation. Angels often bring the presence of God with them, and when they draw near, your soul responds. The tears you shed in those moments are not tears of sorrow, but tears of recognition. Your spirit knows that heaven has touched you. In moments like these, the presence of angels isn't just a feeling, it's a reality breaking into your life. It's a reminder that you are not abandoned, that God's love is surrounding you. The presence of angels brings with it a peace and comfort that transcends any earthly explanation. There have been times when you should have been hurt, when you should have fallen, when circumstances should have broken you. And yet, here you are, standing unscathed. That protection is not chance, it is the work of angels. They are sent by God to guard you, to shield you, to keep you safe from harm. Though you may never see them, their presence is evident in the battles you didn't have to fight, in the disasters that passed over you, and in the peace that guards your every step. Every time you were spared from something, every time you felt the hand of God protecting you, it was the angels working on your behalf. They are sent to watch over you, to fight the battles you cannot see, and to keep you safe under the shadow of God's wings. This protection is not random, it is part of God's plan, and the angels are the agents through which his will is done. There are dreams that disturb us, that leave us unsettled. But then there are the dreams that speak to our souls, vivid, unforgettable dreams that carry weight and meaning. These are not just random images from our subconscious, they are messages. Heaven often uses dreams as a way to communicate with us, to guide us when our waking minds are too distracted. If you've ever had a dream that seemed to hold deeper meaning, one that stayed with you long after you woke up, take heed. Those dreams are often the work of angels, delivering God's messages when we're too distracted to hear them during the day. Whether they bring warnings, direction, or comfort, dreams from heaven are a powerful way that angels connect with us. You've probably encountered a stranger at some point, someone who spoke to you with remarkable accuracy, someone who said the very words you needed to hear, or someone who helped you in a way you never expected. And then, just as mysteriously as they appeared, they vanished. You never saw them again, and they never even asked for recognition. But you remember them, don't you? This is a common experience. Angels often take on human form. Hebrews reminds us that some have entertained angels without knowing it. When you encounter a stranger who speaks to you in a way that seems almost supernatural, when someone appears at just the right moment to provide guidance or help, don't dismiss it. That could be an angel sent to assist you, to give you hope, to guide you toward the next step in God's plan. Finally, you may find yourself feeling an intense, almost irresistible longing for the things of God, a deep, growing hunger to know Him more, to draw closer to His presence, to live according to His will. This is not a coincidence. It is a sign that angels are stirring something in your soul. They are sent not just to deliver messages or provide protection, but to awaken the divine call within you. As angels draw near, they often bring with them a greater desire for holiness, for peace, for the things of the Spirit. They stir our hearts, drawing us away from the distractions of this world and toward the eternal things of God. If you're feeling that hunger, that craving for something deeper, know that it is a sign of heaven's presence and that the angels are near. In the most tumultuous seasons of life, when everything seems to be falling apart, there is a quiet, profound moment that can change the course of your soul. It's a moment when the storm rages outside, and yet inside your heart there is an unexplainable peace. This peace does not come from the resolution of your problems, nor from any change in circumstances. In fact, it often appears in the middle of uncertainty, in the midst of chaos, and in times when you feel most helpless. It is as though, for a brief moment, the weight of the world has been lifted from your shoulders. This peace is not just a fleeting sense of calm, it's something deeper, something that transcends understanding. It is the kind of peace that settles in your soul like a balm, soothing wounds that you never even knew were there. It feels almost as if the turmoil of the world around you is no longer able to touch you, no matter how intense the circumstances. It is a divine intervention, a signal that something far greater than yourself is at work. And often this peace is a sign that angels are near, ministering to you in ways you may not immediately recognize. Angels, as messengers of God, are often sent during these moments of crisis to provide comfort and strength when we are at our most vulnerable. Their presence isn't always accompanied by dramatic signs or visions. Rather, they bring an inner stillness that settles over us, reminding us that we are not alone. Their work is not to eliminate the challenges we face, but to empower us to endure them with courage, faith, and a renewed sense of hope. In those moments of peace, we feel the weight of God's love and protection surround us, even in the hardest of times. It's easy to believe that peace only comes when things are going well, when life is smooth and free of conflict, but true peace often emerges when we least expect it, when we are on the edge of despair, when our hearts are heavy with fear, grief, or anxiety. This peace is not a product of our circumstances, but of God's presence, carried by His angels who act as His messengers of love and grace. In these quiet moments, we are reminded that heaven is not distant and that God's angels are constantly at work, ensuring that we are never left to face life's challenges alone. When you experience this peace, don't dismiss it as mere coincidence or a passing moment of calm. Recognize it as a divine gift, a sign that God is present with you in your struggle. It is the work of angels who bring comfort when words fail, who offer strength when you are weak, and who give you the courage to face the storm with unwavering faith. Their presence is felt not through loud proclamations, but in the quiet assurance that everything will be okay because you are held in the arms of God's love. In those moments, let the peace fill you completely and trust that no matter how severe the storm, the angels of God are near, ministering to your spirit, offering divine comfort and strength that will carry you through the darkest of times. There are times in life when things don't go according to our plans and we can't help but feel frustrated, confused, or even defeated. We might experience delays, detours, or moments when we feel like we've been held back from moving forward. Yet, in those very moments, when our patience is tested and our hearts grow weary, there's often a quiet realization that something beyond our understanding is at work. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where, at the time, a delay or setback felt like a hindrance, but later you saw that it was actually a divine protection or redirection? Perhaps you were running late to an appointment, only to later find out that you were spared from an accident or an uncomfortable situation, or maybe you encountered someone at just the right moment, someone who offered wisdom, comfort, or guidance when you needed it most, even though you hadn't planned for that interaction. These moments are not coincidences. They are signs of divine timing at work. In those times of unexplained delays or unexpected encounters, we often don't see the hand of God in the moment. But as we look back, we begin to realize that there was a reason for the interruption, a purpose behind the detour. It's as though the timing was perfectly orchestrated, deliberately arranged by angels whose purpose is to guide, protect, and align us with God's will. The angels are often the unseen agents behind these moments, working to ensure that we stay on the path that God has prepared for us, even when it doesn't make sense to us in the moment. They don't just bring messages, they direct the flow of events in ways that are beyond our comprehension. They step in at precisely the right time to either shield us from harm or lead us to the place we need to be. Think about those moments when everything seems to fall into place, often when you least expect it. It's like stepping into a divine appointment. Maybe it's a conversation with someone who gives you exactly the advice you need, or a job opportunity that seems to come out of nowhere at a time when you were ready to give up. These encounters are not random, they are divinely appointed by God, with His angels working behind the scenes to ensure that His plan for your life unfolds just as it should. Divine timing goes far beyond human understanding. It's not about luck, coincidence, or chance. It's about God's perfect plan coming into play at exactly the right moment. It's knowing that when things don't go as you thought they would, it's not because you're off track, but because God is steering you towards something even greater than you can imagine. And more often than not, the angels are the ones guiding you, ensuring that each step aligns with His will. You reflect on your life. Think about the times when events didn't unfold the way you expected, but later you could see that it was part of a greater plan. Those moments are often the result of divine timing. The angel's work is often quiet and unnoticed, but it's always intentional. They intervene in ways that protect you, guide you, and ensure that God's purpose for your life is fulfilled. What may seem like a delay, a setback, or a detour is often part of a bigger picture, one that is designed by God Himself, with the angels helping you find your way. In those moments when things don't go according to your plan, remember that angels are working behind the scenes to guide you toward the right path. Trust in divine timing, for it is always aligning you with God's will, bringing you closer to the purpose for which you were created. There are times in life when we stand at a crossroads, unsure of which direction to take. Decisions seem overwhelming and the path forward appears unclear. In moments like these, many of us look for clear signs, obvious answers, or loud revelations that will guide us. But sometimes the most important guidance doesn't come in the form of grand gestures or external events. Instead, it comes through a subtle, quiet whisper deep within our hearts. These whispers are often the voice of angels, guiding us in ways we may not immediately recognize, but that we will feel in our spirits. Angels don't always speak with loud voices or in dramatic ways. Instead, they tend to communicate through feelings, nudges, and intuitive impressions. Have you ever felt an inexplicable sense of peace about a decision, even when the circumstances didn't seem to align with your hopes? Or perhaps there was a moment when you felt a clear, gentle prompting to go in a certain direction, even though it didn't make sense at the time. These subtle sensations are often the whispers of angels, messages meant to guide you, protect you, and help you trust God's will for your life. One of the most profound ways angels communicate is by sending intuitive nudges that align with God's purpose for us. These nudges might feel like a quiet knowing deep within you, a sense that something is right or that something is off. You may not hear the voice clearly, but you sense it in your heart. It's as though something inside of you shifts and you find yourself drawn toward a certain decision, a certain action, or even a person, even though you may not have a rational explanation for it. These intuitive feelings are often the work of angels, guiding you along the path that leads to your highest good. Sometimes these whispers come in the form of warnings. You might find yourself suddenly hesitant to enter a situation or place that you had planned to visit, or you might experience a deep, unsettling feeling when faced with a particular decision. This feeling of discomfort or warning is often the angel's way of protecting you from danger, steering you away from a harmful situation that you may not have been able to see clearly. Angels are messengers sent to warn us, not to frighten us, but to alert us to potential threats and keep us safe. These warnings often come in the form of quiet impressions, feelings of caution, or moments of doubt that prompt us to reconsider our choices. There are also times when angels communicate by encouraging us to trust, especially when the road ahead seems uncertain. In those moments when fear or doubt takes hold, angels may offer a subtle, reassuring sense of calm, a whisper that says, "You are not alone. Trust the path that is unfolding for you." These moments of encouragement are not loud or obvious, but they are often enough to bring peace to our troubled hearts and remind us that we are not walking this journey by ourselves. Even in the midst of confusion or adversity, angels speak to us in these gentle ways, urging us to trust God's timing and plan, no matter how difficult or uncertain the future may seem. These whispers of guidance, though soft and sometimes overlooked, carry with them the profound power of divine wisdom. When you experience these subtle nudges, impressions, or feelings, pay attention to them. They are not just passing thoughts or whims. They are the angels of God gently guiding you, protecting you, and aligning you with His will. In the stillness of your heart, in those quiet moments when you listen, you will hear their whispers clearly, and through them, God speaks to you, guiding you with a gentle touch of His love and direction. As you navigate the complexities of life, remember that angels are always near, quietly guiding you through their whispers of guidance. Trust those feelings, trust those nudges, and trust that in every moment, God is at work through His messengers, showing you the way forward. There are moments in life when the world seems to fade away and everything feels as if it has paused. You may find yourself in a quiet room, alone with your thoughts, or perhaps in a place where you least expect it. Yet, in that moment, something extraordinary happens. There is a profound shift in the atmosphere, a sacred feeling that settles over you, one that is almost tangible. It's a presence so powerful, so overwhelming, that it stirs something deep within your soul, causing your heart to swell with emotion or peace. This feeling, this unexplainable presence, is often a sign that angels have drawn near, bringing with them the comforting and transformative presence of God's grace. In times of hardship, confusion, or sorrow, the presence of angels becomes a powerful reminder that God has not abandoned you. When you feel as though you are standing on the edge of despair, when words cannot adequately express the depth of your pain, the overwhelming presence of God's angels can flood your heart with an incredible sense of peace. It is not the kind of peace that the world offers, one that comes from circumstance or understanding. It is a peace that surpasses all understanding, one that settles in your spirit and provides comfort beyond measure. This presence doesn't require explanation. It simply envelops you and reminds you that you are loved, you are cared for, and you are never alone. Have you ever found yourself in the middle of a difficult situation, a time of emotional struggle or heartache, and then suddenly you feel an overwhelming peace wash over you? It's as if all of your burdens, fears, and anxieties are lifted, even if just for a moment. In that sacred instant, everything feels right, even though the world around you might still be in chaos. This peace is not a coincidence. It is the direct work of angels sent to minister to your heart and spirit. Their presence carries the tangible comfort of God's grace, reminding you that His love is constant, unwavering, and always present, no matter what you're going through. This overwhelming presence can also manifest in moments of joy, wonder, awe. Sometimes, when we least expect it, we are struck by an intense, almost indescribable feeling of God's presence that takes us to a place of awe and reverence. It might happen during a quiet prayer, a peaceful walk in nature, or even while listening to a beautiful piece of music. In these moments, it's as if heaven itself is opened up and we are touched by something far greater than ourselves. Tears may begin to fall, not out of sadness, but out of the recognition that we are in the presence of something holy, something divine. It is in these moments of overwhelming presence that we can truly sense the closeness of God's angels. They bring with them the very essence of God's love, His comfort, and His grace. These are not moments that can be easily explained by logic or science, but they are moments that touch the heart in a way that words cannot capture. In the overwhelming presence of angels, we are reminded that God is always near, that His presence is never far from us, and that no matter how far we may feel from Him, He is always right there, waiting to embrace us with His love. The peace and comfort that come with these experiences are not temporary. They are eternal reminders that God's love is constant and that His angels are always at work, bringing us closer to Him. Whether through an overwhelming sense of peace, an unexpected moment of joy, or a deep, sacred presence that seems to fill the room, angels are the messengers who carry the tangible comfort of God's grace to our heart. In times of uncertainty or pain, when you feel as though you are walking through darkness, don't be surprised if you suddenly experience this overwhelming presence. It is the work of angels sent by God to wrap you in His love, to comfort your spirit, and to remind you that you are not alone. They bring with them the very essence of heaven, filling your soul with peace, joy, and hope, even in the midst of life's most difficult moment. Let the presence of God's angels guide you, comfort you, and remind you that you are deeply loved and never abandoned. There are moments in life when we find ourselves in situations that should have gone wrong, where danger seemed imminent, yet somehow we are spared from harm. It could be something as small as narrowly avoiding a car accident, or as significant as being in the right place at the right time to avoid a dangerous encounter. In these instances, we may not fully understand how or why we were protected, but we can feel the undeniable sense that something greater was at work, guarding us from unseen threats. These are not mere coincidences, but rather the protective work of angels who surround us with divine care, keeping us safe from dangers that we cannot see and from circumstances that we cannot predict. The truth is that there is so much happening in the spiritual realm that we are unaware of, angelic forces working tirelessly to shield us from harm, to direct us away from peril, and to ensure that God's plan for our lives is not derailed by the forces of this world. Think about those moments when you feel a sudden, unexplainable sense of protection. Perhaps you were about to enter a situation that felt off, and suddenly something in your spirit told you to turn around or walk away. Or maybe at the last minute you took a different route, only to learn later that there had been a serious accident on the path you would have taken. These moments are not accidents, they are divine interventions. Moments when angels step in and guide you away from danger, unseen but present all the same. Angels are often described as protectors, and their role in safeguarding us goes beyond what we can see or comprehend. The threats they protect us from are not always visible to the naked eye. Many of them are spiritual in nature, hidden from our understanding. Yet, God sends his angels to keep watch over us, to intervene when necessary, and to ensure that we are kept safe from harm even when we are unaware of the danger lurking nearby. This protection isn't just about physical safety. It extends to our emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. There are times when we may feel overwhelmed by life's challenges, burdened by fear, anxiety, or uncertainty, but the angels are there, providing protection in ways we cannot always see. They guard our hearts from despair, our minds from doubt, and our spirits from the attacks of the enemy. In moments of emotional vulnerability, when we feel exposed or threatened, the presence of angels can provide a shield of comfort and peace, helping us to endure and remain steadfast. In times of crisis or distress, we may never fully understand the full extent of the protection we've received. But as we reflect on our lives, we begin to see how we've been spared from dangers, avoided tragedies, or made it through trials that could have been far worse. In these moments, it becomes clear that God's hand was upon us, working through his angels to keep us safe and secure. Their protection is not always loud or dramatic, but it is always present, always effective, and always guided by God's love. If you have ever been spared from harm or felt an unexplained sense of protection, take a moment to pause and reflect on the divine forces at work in your life. Recognize that the angels are not just stories or distant beliefs, but real, active agents of God's love and care. They are here, protecting you in ways you may never fully understand, but in ways that you can always trust. The next time you find yourself in a situation where you feel protected, where you are spared from harm without explanation, give thanks to God for his angels who are always there, guarding you and watching over you. They are his messengers of protection, and their presence is a reminder that his love is always with you, keeping you safe in every circumstance. There are moments when we drift into sleep, only to wake up with a lingering feeling that the dreams we've had were not just random images or fleeting thoughts. Sometimes our dreams are vivid, full of details, and leave an impression on our hearts that lingers long after we've woken. These dreams often seem to carry more than just symbolic meaning. They feel like messages, guidance, or even warnings. Many people throughout history have experienced dreams that brought clarity, direction, or comfort. And what we may not always realize is that these vivid dreams can often be a form of communication from angels. When we sleep, our spirits are open in ways they are not during our waking hours. Our minds are at rest, but our hearts and souls are still receptive, open to divine communication. It's in these moments, when we are most vulnerable and spiritually receptive, that angels often step in to speak to us through dreams. Whether it's a message of comfort, a warning about a future decision, or a divine revelation about the path we should take, these dreams can carry deep meaning that guides us in ways that we might not immediately understand. Have you ever woken up from a dream with a sense that it was far more than just a product of your mind? Perhaps the dream was incredibly vivid, and the details felt so real that they seemed to carry significance. Maybe you woke up feeling a sense of peace or conviction, as though the dream was offering you a message from a higher source. These kinds of dreams are often the work of angels who communicate through symbols, images, or feelings that speak directly to your heart. The messages may not always be clear in the moment, but if you pay attention, you will find that they often offer guidance or answers to questions you've been grappling with in your waking life. In some cases, angels may use dreams to warn us about potential dangers or decisions that are not aligned with God's will for us. These dreams often carry a sense of urgency or a warning tone that can't be ignored. They might point out areas of our lives where we need to make changes, or they could help us see something we hadn't noticed in our waking life, whether it's a relationship, a decision, or a course of action that requires caution. These dreams, though often subtle in their approach, carry the wisdom and protection of angels, helping us to steer clear of paths that could lead to harm. At other times, dreams are used by angels to provide reassurance, healing, and comfort, especially during times of loss, confusion, or emotional distress. The angels may bring us comforting visions of loved ones who have passed, offering a sense of peace that they are at rest. Or they may show us glimpses of our future to encourage us to keep moving forward with faith. These dreams carry the presence of God's love and grace, reminding us that we are never alone, even in the most difficult moments. The beauty of angelic dreams is that they are not limited by time or space. Sometimes the messages we receive in dreams speak to our past, helping us find healing from old wounds or bring closure to unresolved matters. Other times they look to our future, offering us glimpses of what is to come, giving us hope, direction, or clarity. No matter the form these dreams take, they are often designed to help us see more clearly, to prepare us for what lies ahead, or to comfort us in times of distress.